dress-ups and sentence openers. So we're going to begin by talking about the dress-ups, and I'm going to go ahead and switch us over to the glossary that we've just created to go with our IEW course. And we're just going to remind you that KWO stands for our keyword outline, and it uses 2 to 3 keywords to rewrite a sentence. Our rough draft is just that. It's a rough draft. It's not going to be perfect. It won't have everything in it. If it's printed out, it should be messy and have editing on it, or even if it's written out, okay? Your final draft, however, should be typed, double-spaced, with the title underlined and your name under the title. All the dress-ups are underlined and coded. Your title is the new creative title that we've done after lesson 4, that kind of thing. And then finally, your composition checklist. I am sending those out with each assignment because they're changing every assignment or so. Okay, so make sure you're working with the current one. All right, dress ups. At this point, we are at about lesson 10 in our IEW binder. And we have the ly adverb, which is an adverb, okay? Adverbs describe verbs or adjectives, but they don't describe nouns. They typically have an ly at the end of them. Watch out for the imposters, though, and you're going to see those on the adverb page in our binder. Look in the box in the lower right-hand corner for the imposters. Friendly is an imposter, okay? All right, next is our who, which clause. And that one is giving more description about our subject or our noun, okay? It can often be used if you have a sentence like, the shepherd was compassionate. That can turn around and become, the shepherd who was compassionate watched over the sheep all day. But note that we needed to add more to that sentence. So once we put in the who, which clause, because once you say, the shepherd who was compassionate, do you see how we're left hanging there? We need more information to go with it. The shepherd, who was compassionate, watched over the sheep all day long. Okay? And we use the who for people, and we use the which for animals or objects. Strong verbs. Okay, number one, they're not one of our banned words that we've been putting in our style charts, or excuse me, in our banned word list. And a strong verb does not end in ly, because ly endings are typically for ly adverbs, okay? Verbs show action or the states of being, was, have, am, but states of being really aren't very good strong verbs for our dress-up purposes. So strong verbs are going to help give a very descriptive mental image. And your test is I blank, okay? Right down in here. So I sprinted. Can you see that happening? I gulped, okay? I hugely. Can you see that happening? Oh, wait, hugely ends with an ly. It's not a verb. It's an ly adverb. So that one doesn't work. I devoured. You can see that happening, okay? Watch your strong verbs. Make sure they really are verbs and not an ly adverb, okay? Quality adjectives. Helps describe a noun, and the test is the blank pen, okay? Some examples, we've got the strong pen, the pink pen, the slippery pen, and the broken pen, okay? Adjectives are everywhere, all right? Use your imagination, use a thesaurus or dictionary.com to look for adjectives if you need to, all right? And finally, we have our because clause, okay? And the because clause answers the question, why? A because clause is not a sentence on its own, but it actually is most often combining two complete sentences. So our example here is the dog bit Tommy. Tommy stepped on its leash. Okay, we can combine those with a because clause. The dog bit Tommy because he stepped on its leash. Okay, And we are now going to move on to our sentence openers. This was new in our work this week, and we did get to watch the there we go. We got to watch the DVD for a portion of it, and we just took over and started talking together for another portion of it. But basically, our sentence openers are helping us open our sentences, giving us some variety in how our paragraphs flow and that kind of thing. Because our paragraphs sound very redundant or tedious when every sentence starts with, and then I picked up a rake. Next, I raked the grass. Okay, it gets really tedious that way. So with changing our sentence openers and having a list of 4 different ones to choose from, it makes your paragraph more interesting and more enjoyable to read. It also is going to change up the rhythm a little bit. So we're going to flip over back to the glossary, okay, and we're going to take a look at some more of these terms and describe them, okay. There we go. All right. So we've got the sentence openers. So believe it or not, they are used to start the sentence and are not counted as a dress up, such as the ly adverb dress up. Okay, those two are counted differently. And when you code them, it's going to code like I have done down here. Okay. In class, I said that you didn't need to underline your opener. You don't have to, but you do have to have this number before your opener. If you want to underline it, that's just fine. Okay, so our first sentence opener is going to be a subject opener. So we're starting it with a noun. Examples are Tommy likes to play baseball. He plays ball in the summer. The dog ran to see the children. In this case, the words the, an, and a are articles, and they can be used before the subject or the noun, okay? And that doesn't compromise it being a subject opener. Next, we have our prepositional opener. And a preposition does what? It tells us about location, right? It talks about the, there we go. It talks about the position. All right, so you are starting your sentence with a preposition. And there's a list of prepositions in our style chart section in the binder. I think that's the last page in there. And if you ordered yours from IEW, it will be beige in color. Examples, in the morning, that's the preposition. I have a meeting at the church. Another example, below the stairs, we keep our boots in extra water. And the third example, on Friday, we will go to the steak fry, okay? In, below, and on are all showing us, they're all showing us location type things, okay? Next, we have our ly opener. And again, we don't want to confuse this with our ly dress up. Okay, your ly opener starts your sentence with an ly adverb. However, it's at the beginning of the sentence. All right. So an example, viciously, the dog bit Tommy on the leg. Playfully, the girl swirled the ribbon. Hungrily, the boy devoured the chicken. Okay. So you would also hear it as the dog viciously bit Tommy on the leg, but instead we're putting viciously at the beginning so we can change up how our sentences begin and just make our paragraph more interesting. Also, the girl playfully swirled the ribbon. Again, we can take playfully out to the front of the sentence and have a different type of beginning. Okay? Number 4 sentence opener and number 5 sentence opener have not been assigned yet, so you don't need to worry about those. Number 6 is the VSS, the very short sentence. I find this is everybody's absolute favorite. It is a very short sentence. It contains no more than 2 to 5 words, but it must include both a subject and a verb. Okay, so examples, the classic, Jesus wept. Shortest verse in the Bible, shortest verse in the Bible, a complete sentence, and a very short one as well. The dog bit Tommy. 4 words, very short to the point. He plays baseball. 3 words, very short to the point. It just breaks up that rhythm a little bit and makes your paragraph more interesting. Okay? So, with that information, we have, there I am. Okay. With that information, we have a new composition checklist. Now, on this one, I'm going to show you a composition checklist for the boy and the wolf story, our original material, okay? But we're going to go through so you can see how many things you have to keep track of and how using the composition checklist is really helpful to make sure you aren't losing any points that you don't need to, okay? So I'm going to switch over and show you that composition checklist. And it's moving. There we go. All right. So, composition checklist for the boy and the wolf. Again, I do recommend printing these off. So, for showing us your keyword outline, you get 25 points. For showing us your rough draft, you get 25 points. For having a final draft, you get 50 points. Okay? If you forget your name on your keyword outline, your rough draft, your final draft, or your composition checklist, we're taking off 5 points because those are still really important things to have your name on. You want your final draft composition double spaced. You want your title underlined, and that title does need to repeat or reflect 2 to 3 keywords of your final sentence. You can underline the keywords if you like. You don't have to. If you need to change your final sentence to have keywords that can be reflected in the title, do that. Okay? It's a wise choice. Now, on down to our dress ups and sentence openers. Okay? You can see that we have a 3-paragraph story going on, so you do need to have an ly adverb in paragraph 1, an ly adverb in paragraph 2, and an ly adverb in paragraph number 3. A who which in paragraph 1, 2, and 3. You need a strong verb, not another ly adverb, but a strong verb in paragraph 1, 2, and 3. A quality adjective describing a noun in 1, 2, and 3. And finally, a because clause in paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and paragraph 3. Was that really redundant? Yep, it absolutely was. I'm just reminding and kind of drilling that in for you because it's super similar with our with our sentence openers, okay? You will need a subject sentence opener in paragraph number 1, in paragraph number 2, and paragraph number 3. You will need a prepositional opener in paragraph number 1, 2, and 3. You will need an ly adverb sentence opener that is not your ly adverb dress up. Those shouldn't even be in the same sentence, okay? You'll need an ly adverb sentence opener in paragraph 1, 2, and 3. And you will need a very short sentence, okay? This one probably should not have any other dress-ups in it because it's a very short sentence, all right? So you're going to need one of those in paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and paragraph 3, okay? Please remember to not use those banned words. We have much better ways to express ourselves rather than using the words say or said, see or saw, go or went or going, think or thought, or we just added a couple today. We added eat and we added good, or shall I say we took away eat and we took away good. We came up with lots of different ways to say eat, and we came up with lots of different ways to say good. Parents, if you would like a list to look at, do check out lesson 10 in the teacher notes, and that will give you a list of other options for the word eat and other options for the word good, okay? When we come across any of these banned words in your paragraphs, we have to take away 5 points because we have better words to use, okay? Do go ahead and print out your composition checklist, and you, the student, should sign it, and you, the parent, should sign it, okay? And then score that, because that is a huge help, but it also really makes a difference for, it makes a huge difference to you when you are making sure that you've gotten everything taken care of, okay? Really going through that composition checklist to make sure you have everything so you get all your points. Okay, so we've gone through those things. Would you like to see how I dress up a paragraph? I'm not going to dress up 3, and I'm not going to dress up one of our created story paragraphs, but I am borrowing a paragraph from a student, and we are going to use that paragraph to add some dress ups. Okay, so we are going to look at a paragraph on the sea wasp. All right. The sea wasp is the deadliest creature alive. Okay, that's a number 1. All right, that's a number 1 dress up. Its poisoning ability is far greater than any snake. It can only be found in Australia's waters and is almost completely transparent, which means it's difficult to see. In its search for bottom-dwelling shrimp, that is a preposition opener. And that is a number 2. Okay. It wanders too close to shore and to swimmers. It is so deadly that stung swimmers die in the seconds it takes them to stagger to shore. This small blob has enough neurotoxin to kill over 50 people. The sea wasp is the most venomous jellyfish alive. Okay, so I've already put in 2, or I've picked out 2 of my sentence openers. And obviously this paragraph also doesn't have all of our dress ups. I think I might consider adding some of them. We do have our who, which in here. Let's see. It wanders. That is a strong verb. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Okay, so that's 2. And I've got the who, which, so I need an ly. It is so deadly, and deadly is an ly. So I'm going to put that in. What did I do? Deadly. Okay. Deadly, which strong verb. So I need a quality adjective and I need a because clause. So I'm going to change this one around a little bit. Swimmers die in the seconds it takes them to stagger back to shore because it is so deadly. And that was my, that was my ly. And I don't want to have 2 of them in the same sentence. Okay, so that's all right. I can change that. Stung swimmers and because. All right, so now I need to find a new ly. Completely is in the same sentence with that one. So which one doesn't? The small blob has enough neurotoxin to kill over 50 people. The small To effectively kill over 50 people. Okay. So what I did there is I just looked for a verb that I could describe more. Okay. So looking here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm missing a quality adjective. Deadliest creature alive. So deadliest is going to be my quality adjective. Deadliest is describing our creature. Okay. So we've got our 5 dress ups, and then we also need our 4 sentence openers. We have number 1 already. The sea wasp is our subject opener. Number 2, in its search is our preposition. I also need an ly adverb opener in a very short sentence. Okay, so I'm going to put an ly adverb here. Incredibly. Ooh, I even spelled it right. Google didn't underline it with different colors. Incredibly. And it moved position on me. All right. Oh, I did spell it wrong. Google said so. So I'm clicking, and I'm saying yes. Please spell incredibly properly for me. So that will be my number 3. Incredibly, it's my ly opener. And now I need a very short sentence. Incredibly, its poisoning ability is far greater than any snake. Let's see. The sea wasp is the most venomous jellyfish alive. I'm going to put one right in here. I'm adding a sentence. This is how about I don't so the sea wasp right there is the sea wasp is already 3 words. I'm going to say this creature is deadly. It's very short. Yep, I'm adding to it, and that's okay. All right. We've just talked about how it can kill over 50 people. And then I say it's deadly, but that isn't repeated in the last sentence. The sea wasp is the most venomous jellyfish alive. Okay. So there we go. That is how I adjusted a paragraph and added in my sentence openers to make it more interesting and to vary it a little bit. Okay. I will, I'm sorry, I actually cannot add that copy to the other things that we look at because I don't have permission from the student who wrote it yet. So there you go. Please contact me if you have any more questions on how to use your openers or how to work with your dress ups. But that's kind of a short and quick, hey, this is what they are. Have a blessed day.